Bubbles. We drink them down, use them to wash up, and Steve Langley makes a living playing with these unpredictable psychedelic spheres.
Oh, that made two. Let me pop one up. I have to, pitch myself every day. I go, people pay me to make soap bubbles.
Langley started the Soap Bubble Circus 2 years ago. Now he performs year-round, traveling across the Carolinas, wowing crowds with his one-man show.
It's blown up, so to speak. Here comes a surprise. Woo!
We caught up with him at the Concord Library.
Have you ever seen one of those, a soap bubble cube?
I was like, wow, I can't believe anyone could do that. I didn't even know what a bubble vapor is, but it looks cool anyways.
Eventually, Langley takes the show outside, using a magic wand of sorts to fill the sky with bubbles, some bigger than the kids in the audience.
This bit.
Kids, being kids, test the bubbles' boundaries, quickly discovering how fragile they are, getting a soapy shower as they burst.
I popped them and when they said, big balls, I won't pop them. Pop.
It was amazing.
Believe it or not, Langley went to school to be a chef.
I actually started as a dishwasher, so it's almost full circle if you think about it.
He and a coworker teamed up and started performing as a comedy juggling act. Langley hoped to save a little dough so he could open a restaurant. The two called themselves the Fettuccine Brothers, a play off their day job in food service. That was 30 years ago. Since then, he's reinvented himself over and over again, transitioning from the great fettuccine to the paddleball king to a bubbleologist, earning 4 world records along the way.
Just when I thought my life couldn't get any more wacky, I'm a bubble guy now.
The most recent was for the longest hanging bubble chain, blowing 35 bubbles before half of them floated away. Langley never set out to become a bubbleologist. His success with the Soap Bubble Circus came after his career hit an all-time low. He was burnout, battling depression, and dealing with the aftermath of a client defaulting on a payment, shorting him thousands of dollars.
When I would get at my most stressed out, I would go out into the driveway and blow bubbles. And I could just feel my heart rate coming down, and I could feel the stress almost like floating away with each bubble.
Bubbles reignited his passion for performing, so he set out to help lighten the load for others.
Making people smile, making people happy, taking them out of that moment for just a little bit.
This summer, Steve took his show from the Carolinas to California, performing at the El Capitan Theater for the premiere of Finding Dory. His niche has earned him a number of nicknames.
Bubble man, bubble guy, bubble dude.
But back at home, hanging out with his wife, 2 daughters, and rescue dog, he's simply known as Dad.
He's a fun dad to have around the house.
Well, life with my husband is never boring. There is always something going on.
Yeah, that's it, good. Give it a nice, make sure you pull it off from the top when you go up and pull it off. That's it, just like that.
Downstairs, his daughters join him in the Bubble Lab, turning the Soap Bubble Circus into a family affair.
I like to perform just like my dad.
Emily is 10, Sarah's 17, and together they're the Bubblini sisters, in training to run the show when Dad's out of town.
It's fun to see the expression on people's faces.
Perfect.
Because so many people love bubbles, and it's cool to see how they'll react to them.
It's really hard not to smile when there are bubbles around.
Through a career of ups and downs, Langley hopes his daughters learn to follow their passion and find their bliss. Back at the library, kids stare in awe of these whimsical wonders, floating through the sky without a worry in the world. For Carolina Impact, I'm Danielle Koser reporting.